What's up, everyone? It's Cannan, back with another video, and finally, we have them. We have every single one of them, the 16 marriage candidates for Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma. Been looking forward to doing this one for a while, and now we finally have all of them on the actual website for Rune Factory. And before this, really all we knew was that the protagonists themselves are marriage candidates, so if you choose to play as Subaru, Kaguya will be a marriage candidate, or if you play as Kaguya, Subaru would be the marriage candidate. And we also knew, of course, that same-sex marriage was going to be returning in this game, which is great, because when it came to Rune Factory 5, it seemed like for a while, even after the Japanese release of the game, info was coming in very slowly about the contents of the game. And of course, the Japanese version came out a little bit before the Western version, but we now know it's mostly because the Western team added same-sex marriage in themselves, which was later patched in the Japanese version, where this one is going to launch with both versions, and I believe it's coming out for both the West and the East at the same time. So it seems like things are going a little bit smoother with this game. But I have been looking forward to this ever since they announced it originally as Project Dragon. So now we're going to look at every single romance option. Most are already in the game, but some, I've already learned, are part of DLC. I know a lot of people do not like that, but let's see which options are already in the base game and which ones are DLC. So, of course, first we have the male protagonist, Subaru, and it lists both the English and the Japanese voice actor. Left his cold village in the northern part of Azuma on a mission to save the land. Childhood friends with Kaguya. Okay, so that is something new to me. In the original Project Dragon trailer, it seemed that the two protagonists were on opposite sides, and thanks to this, we now know that the two protagonists are childhood friends. Okay. Who hails from the same hometown, usually relaxed and easygoing, enjoys gazing at the sky. While generally not a fan of battle, he has a strong sense of justice and will fight fiercely to protect his friends and loved ones. So now we move on to Kaguya, who is the female protagonist and is the female option if you choose to play as her. I personally will be choosing her. Let's see. Left her cold village in the northern part of Azuma on a mission to save the land. Childhood friends with Subaru, who hails from the same hometown. Loves being in nature, especially interacting with animals and observing flowers. Although usually calm, she despises evil and resents any act of injustice. So, very heroic-like characters. So, the reason why they are on this list, like I said, is that whoever you play as, the other protagonist will be available as a marriage candidate. Now, next we have Woolby, who is not a romance character, so we're not going to cover Woolby in this video, so let's move on. So, first up is Iroha, cheerful tea house proprietress. The owner of Iroha's tea house in Spring Village, a friendly, caring young woman who dreams of revitalizing Spring Village and returning it to its former glory. So she's a tea girl who owns her own business, it sounds like. So I remember when we first saw her, she seemed almost like she may be a kid character, but it turns out she's just short. But yeah. Is Iroha your girl of your dreams? We will find out. Next we have Murasame, swordsman seeking greatness. A samurai who wanders Azuma with the goal of becoming the world's greatest swordsman. Master of the Munin Muso sword style, which means free from empty thoughts, spends his days training and keeping his sword in good condition. So, in a way, you're kind of usual samurai-like character, but we've already seen some scenes of his romance, and they actually paired him with Subaru to represent, a male and male romance in the game. So, yeah, if you're into samurai-like characters, he should be your guy. Now we have Hina, who is now all grown up. Originally made her debut as a child in Rune Factory 5, so some time has went by after the events of 5, and it looks like she now works for Seed. A mysterious archaeologist, Hina, a half-human, half-fox were-animal who arrives in Azuma on an airship with Maro, claims to be an archaeologist. Childhood events instilled her with a strong desire to help others. I'm wondering if that is in a result of the actions of the protagonist from Rune Factory 5. Like, she got inspired to join Seed and now wants to help everyone just like the protagonist of Rune Factory 5 did. So yes, Hina is now all grown up and she can be married in Guardians of Azuma. Next, we have the adventurer who sells the skies, Maro. So it sounds like he's not a sky pirate, but uses an airship to travel. A self-proclaimed treasure hunter from a foreign land who came to Azuma by airship in search of a legendary treasure. This sentimental soul is easily moved to tears. Oh, so he's going to be the sentimental type. He's going to be the emotional kind. So, ladies and gents, if that's your kind of guy, looks like you're going to have it here. But who came from a foreign land. I wonder if that's going to be any connection to 6, because even though all the other games 1 through 5 have taken part in the other side of the continent or other side of the world, the West, maybe, I think 6 might take place in a place all new for us, so maybe that's where he's from. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just grasping at straws here, because I want more info on Rune Factory 6 as well. But yes, there's Maro. As of right now, this is my romance that I'm probably going to accept as my canon because I love her design. I love the pink hair. I love the green eyes. I love the outfit. And since she's been in a lot of the trailers already, I wonder if she is supposed to be the main girl, even though she's a deity. Who knows? But maybe Iroha is that as well, because she's been just as much as early content as Lalaka, peaceful god of spring and mirth. Azuma's kind, gentle god of spring and merriment. Her benevolence knows no bounds, and she simply wants everyone to live happy, peaceful lives. So she's a very benevolent god. Not a kind of god that gets angry or anything. So this might be my girl. Let me all know what you guys think. Then we have Matsuri, boisterous god of summer and swords. Azuma's carefree god of summer and swords. Enjoys physical activities of all kinds. Let's calm down now. Despite being a master of the blade, she tends to solve problems with brute force instead. I had a feeling that she was definitely the goddess of summer. And because her look screams that. She's got this really cool sword on her back, but it sounds like she decides not to use it. But the god of summer and the god of swords. So yeah, that if this is your type of character, she kind of looks like the energetic, tomboyish kind of character. So if that is your niche, there's a girl for you right here. And she just so happens to be the goddess of summer. Kurama, astute god of autumn and wind. Azuma's calm, cool-headed god of autumn and the wind. Well versed in a wide variety of subjects, Due to his tactical nature, he excels at every game imaginable, both ancient and modern. So great, he could beat you at chess and he could beat you at video games. I think this will be a very popular character amongst certain people who like that, the cool-headed, cool guy, you know, like, oh man, he's just so cool, you know. The fact that his name is Kurama, which reminds me of Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho, I think that'll get him a lot of fans. Not my cup of tea, personally, but yeah, I can see this one being a very popular choice. Half-beast god of winter and water, Fubuki. Azuma's warm-hearted wolf god of winter and water. A somewhat anxious soul who hates to hurt others. So far, these deities have been very benevolent, very nice, very caring. He's definitely going to have a lot of fans. Like, whenever you add a tail and ears to any kind of marriage option or romance option, they tend to be really popular. Because let's just all admit it, we're all a bunch of furries. but yeah, the god of winter is a fox, a wolf, I mean, and that kind of fits because wolves and winter, you know, every time you see art of a wolf, it's usually set during the winter and all that, so that kind of fits. So Fubuki, the god of winter. Now we have Kanata, prestigious god of light. Okay, so she is the god of light and the heavens. Azuma's god of light and the heavens, acts as the god's official representative, serious and intelligent, but also prone to flights of fancy. Oh, so she's kind of airheaded in a way then, or like she gets wild hairs all the time. Like, it's like all this, like one day she doesn't know anything about collecting cards, and then the very next day she's collecting every kind of trading card game there is. So yeah, that's flights of fancy to me always screams wild hair. So she's going to be a bit quirky. She's going to be a bit silly, but that's always all right. I thought the god of light and darkness might be like leaders in a way, but it seems like she's their representative. She, you know, shows up for them in case they're busy, I guess. Then we have Kai, Oni god of the underworld. So not exactly a god of darkness, but kind of. A leader of the Oni, feared for his incredible strength, although a bit selfish and rough around the edges, he treats his retainers well, always wears a mask that hides his true face. Ooh, so maybe if you romance him and marry him, you'll get to see his true face. Will he be absolutely handsome under there, or is it going to be like a Phantom of the Opera kind of thing going on here? So not the god of shadow, but he is the god of the underworld. He's not Hades by any means. But yeah, so it seems like he's going to be very cold, very, as it says, selfish and all that first, but as you warm up to him, he will show you his more gentle, soft side, maybe. Alright, so this was a character that we first saw in the trailer a day or so ago, but had not seen beforehand, at least I hadn't. Deadly Beauty, Clarice. Hello, Clarice. The leader of a mysterious group that traveled to Azuma to further some unknown goal. A cold, battle-hardened soldier who fears little. Her long blonde hair flutters behind her as she fights. Alright, so is this going to be a character that belongs to an organization that is evil and she eventually changes sides because it's not what she signed up to do? But also a cold, battle-hardened soldier. She's going to be cold. She's going to be walled off. She's going to have her icy walls around her. She's probably going to be rude and standoffish maybe at first. But then as she starts to fall in love with you, she'll, you know, her walls will come down. She might even be scared to fall in love. Who knows? But as time goes on, you'll eventually open up her heart. Very interesting. I tend to like romance stories where one character is very cold and keeps walls around them, and the other one is very, up front, or they find someone to fall in love with, and they eventually start showing their real self behind those walls. So she might be a close second. I tend to play all the romances through to see all of them, and I meant to rank Rune Factory 5s, but I never got around to it. but yeah, we will. I'm very interested in seeing how her romance plays out. Mystic leader of the Jingasa Corps, Ikaruga. A mystic from the capital who leads the Jingasa Corps. Mild-mannered by nature, but when his personal goals are at stake, he stops at nothing to achieve them. Okay, so he's stubborn. Stubborn and driven, it seems like. So, I really like his design. At first, it might just be the way he's drawn, but I thought I'm not gonna say I don't know how to. Very attractive, I'll say that. Like this may be one of the definite male characters I actually go for, because I gotta admit, guy's kind of cute. So we'll see. But almost could pass. Like, this is the kind of character who I could say if you dress them up, they could possibly be mistaken for a girl in a way. Nothing wrong with that. Very good looking. So yeah, I'm interested, I gotta say. All right, so this is Pilika, huntress who honors all life. So this is a female character. A quiet, plain-spoken hunter who hails from Azuma's far north. Her hunting skills know no peer, and she feels deep respect for every living thing. To access the romance scenario with Pilika, please purchase the DLC pack Seasons of Love. Alright, so this is one of the DLC romances. Now, of course, since there's not a lot of info here on her, I could see people maybe not wanting to get the DLCs, because I can already tell you people will say she's plain looking. Now, the Seasons of Love DLC already comes with the Earth Dancer edition, so I will have this by default, so I'll be able to try out her romance and see what she is like. I do tend to like characters who have dark hair. Dark-haired women, to me, are just very, very attractive. So I will try out her romance. But I can see, this because it's DLC only, I can see people maybe bowing out of it. And also because the one thing that Rune Factory, well, not really Rune Factory, but Story of Seasons for sure, especially with Pioneers of Olive Town, they've not done a good job of integrating the DLC romances into the game really well. Because if you play Pioneers of Olive Town, they added characters from past games into it, and they're kind of on their own little islands in a way, and they don't interact with the town. They don't show up for events, festivals. Like, they're literally just walled off on their own little world. So I hope they actually integrate her and whoever else is part of this DLC into the actual game. Like, hopefully she is seen around the world and all that, and she just doesn't appear once you're ready to see her new cutscene or something. So, with a game like this, where it's not really open world, but it's got bigger maps and all that, I don't think they'll do that with her. But then again, we'll have to wait and see. Soft-spoken puppet master Q-Lang, a mechanical expert who lives in Autumn Village. Although he speaks little and socializes even less, the other villagers can always rely on him, and he never turns away a soul in need. To access the romance scenario, Please purchase the DLC pack Seasons of Love. Okay, so with his description, it sounds like maybe these characters are in the game, but their romances are locked behind the DLC, because it says he's from Autumn Village. So hopefully that means these characters will already be in the game wherever their respective areas are. Like, he's in Autumn Village. The female, it didn't really say, Palika didn't really say where she's from, I don't think. Well, she's from the north, so she's traveling. But even if you don't have the DLC, they will at least still be characters in the game. It's just that they can't be marriage candidates unless you own this DLC. So you might not if you don't have the DLC, you'll miss out on the romance, but maybe you won't miss out on the actual characters. I haven't been keeping count here, so okay, so that's all of them. So once again, we have the male protagonist, Subaru, the female protagonist, Kaguya. Wolby is not a marriage candidate. We have Iroha. We have Murasame. We have Hina. We have Maro. So that's already at least 4 normal human marriage candidates. Then we have Yulalaka, Matsuri, Kurama, Fubuki, Kanata, Kai, Clarice, Ikaruga, Palika, and Q-Lang. So that's 8, I think 8 normal humans. Well, maybe, I don't know if that's counting the protagonists. And then we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so 8 normal humans, 6 deities, and then the 2 protagonists. I believe that makes, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes. So that makes the 16. Whoops, wrong button. So that makes the 16 marriage candidates right there. 2 are DLC. But yeah, that is the marriage candidates for Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. So, right away, who are your favorites? Who is going to be like your first marriage candidate? Of course, I'm definitely going to do all the girls with Kaguya, and I'll try and do the males as well. That way I can actually give you guys a ranking of what I think. It's just going to take me a while. It's going to take a lot of playing. I like Iroha. I think so far from what I've learned, Hina is kind of weird for me because I remember her being a child in 5, and I actually really wanted to marry her mom. But now that she's old enough, like it depends on what she is like as an adult. But let's see, like Ulaka, I'm definitely, like, she might be my number 1, but I really, really like how Clarice sounds. I like those kind of character tropes for a romance option, so we will see. If I don't get around to doing all 16, I will at least let you all know my rankings for all the girls besides Kaguya, because I'm going to be playing as her. But yeah, I think that is all we are going to do for this one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the romance options. Like, are you a little bummed that a good few of them are deities? Because the only time we've ever had like deities as marriage candidates have been in the Story of Seasons series, where like the harvest goddess you can marry, and other unique marriage candidates as well, though they always came with like gimmicks in a way. Like the harvest goddess would never live with you. Like she may visit every now and then, but she would stay in like the pond that the waterfall goes into. Like she didn't stay with you, you know. So yeah, and in fact there was one where you could marry a mermaid, and she had to stay in the pond outside. Like yeah, so so I wonder if you marry one of the deities, if like they'll actually live with you in your house, or you marry them and then they're just like, well, I got things to do, so I'll see you at some point, and then leaves. Like, I hope not. I hope they actually stay with you, but we'll see. But I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave a comment, all that good stuff. As always, guys, this is Canaan. Me and Jess love you all very, very much. Please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.